Let's get this guy in here already. This guy, let me tell you something. I don't care what you say about him. Just go out and buy his new cassette. You know, it's called Always the Villain. This guy is nothing but a good time. Please welcome to that Jamieson show, Michael Grant. What's up, brother?
What up?
There we go. What are you doing? There. What happened there? Here he is.
I was working on a new track there for a second.
Flip your phone, brother. There you go. There he is. You're always in rock star mode. I love that. So, dude,
I'm new to this technology thing. Should I be landscape or should I be like?
Yeah, you should be landscape.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
they're saying if you could be landscape, that would be sick, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to get your full visage on.
Is that better?
Well, dude, he should fill out the screen, no, Drew?
What the fuck is happening here?
Although it would be funny if we did the whole interview sideways.
I mean, it was.
Yeah, flip it back the other way that you had it.
Okay.
This is a tech.
What the fuck, bro?
There you go.
That's
all right.
Yay!
All right. There he is. All right. Hey, man. Congrats on the new record.
Thank you very much, bro.
Yeah, man. So Michael Grant and the Assassins. I saw a little sneak preview of the band on was it the Monsters of Rock cruise, right? Or was it the Megadeth cruise? I forget which one it was.
Monsters of Rock cruise.
Right, Monsters. Yeah. Now, so what's the deal with this? Is this an actual band or is it Michael Grant and whoever the fuck you want it to be as the Assassins?
On the record, it's purely me. So I play everything on the record: drums, bass, guitar, vocals,
Yep.
Skin flute, whatever I needed to play. Whatever I needed to track, I just did it.
Yeah, because we played a little clip of Red Light Run before, which, goddamn, that song is so freaking catchy, man. What an earworm that is. Like, you just find yourself singing that all day. And, yeah, in that video, yes, it's you cut to you playing drums, it's you playing guitar, and you, you're singing as well. I know you were a front man in a prior band, but in the meantime, obviously, you spent some years in LA Guns, where you weren't the front man. How's it feel now to be back as the main dude?
It was interesting kind of being in the shadows for a while. So it's definitely a nice and welcome change to be back at the forefront. And I think the best part is just like being able to do what I want, create the music I want, and kind of be my own boss. That's the best.
Oh, don't doubt, man. You know, when you join like a classic band like that, and I don't know if you were a fan previously, but they have a lot of songs that are obviously fun to play if you were a fan of theirs.
Definitely.
And so it does make it a fun experience to do that. But yeah, I mean, you must have been obviously craving for a long time to do your own thing.
Definitely craving. Definitely. And I think it was a long time coming. I think it was just time.
Yeah, so sell the album. Describe what it is to the fans, because it's not LA Guns.
It's definitely not LA Guns. I don't think it's even in the same genre, to be honest. I think a lot of people were expecting like an 80s album that was kind of related to it, but this is a hard rock album with, a lot of melody. It's very modern at the same time with tips of the hat to the classics. So, yeah. Big culmination of a lot of my influences, which range from like, Metallica, Smashing Pumpkins, Prince, Beatles. Like, it's just kind of an amalgamation of stuff that's in my head and stuff I've been trying to get out for a while, but just kind of got, sidetracked, if you will, with other things.
Yeah, right, and it takes some time to get a new project going, as you know. That's the other thing. When you join an established band, they've already got their fan base. This is like starting from ground zero for you in a way.
Absolutely.
And the odd thing is, the art of songwriting, has kind of become lost to a lot of people because, this album that you put out, man. I mean, it's geared towards radio, even though it's a hard rock album, but there's great melodies and very catchy choruses. But unfortunately, there's no support from the radio community for rock music really anymore.
Right. Also, the state of where the world is right now is pretty detrimental to the nail in the coffin for most musicians. I mean, this is a real interesting time for anybody to put out a record.
Yeah, because a little later on in the show, I'm going to talk about the Spotify CEO who basically said like, oh, well, artists just have to make more music if they want to make more money. But it's like when you're making 3 cents on 20 million plays, how many albums can you, if Mike Portnoy can't make a living on Spotify, he's got 75 bands, how's anybody supposed to make a living? But, it's the nature of the beast, Michael. It's such a different thing now. It's sort of like, well, I mean, I like to tell them to fuck off, but at the same time, I want people to hear my music. So it's a catch-22.
Also, when you're creating music by playing instruments and playing things live and organically versus like, putting together a bunch of loops and a bunch of sampled drum beats, there's a difference between the work factor that goes into both of those. You know what I'm saying? You could churn out hits if you're just messing with loops.
Yeah.
You can't really keep churning out records if you're like, hey, let's get this 6-piece band together and just like put our lives on hold and go into the recording studio and make more music because Spotify told us to, and that's the only way we're gonna make. It's harder for bands to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we should mention, your album's out on Frontiers Records. Which is important to mention because, we're talking about all the times we're not supported, but Frontiers, go to their website, check out all the albums on there. They are huge supporters of hard rock, heavy metal, and rock music in general. So I'm glad that they, that they're behind you. And our mutual buddy, Mike Orlando, who mixed the album, said to say hello to you.
He is such a beast. He did such a great job mixing the record.
Yeah,
such a great job. Love that guy.
And Michael's been on the show before, and obviously it's 2 very different guitar playing styles, but he has the producer's ear as well, which is good.
Right.
So when we were playing the clip early, and I listened to the whole record, and I really enjoyed it, and especially in these dark times, this is just an album you could listen to and just like you have a smile on your face the whole time. But I maybe heard a little Thin Lizzy influence in your playing on that Red Light Run solo.
Yeah, I'm all over the place with my influences on this record in general, I think. Part of it was done, just before quarantine times, and
right.
I had a lot of time to just kind of delve into my own head, but I definitely have some Thin Lizzy influence. What other influences were you hearing? I'm curious to know.
In the solo, I heard a little Brian Robertson in there. So, and even though I have no talent to play instruments, I can, because obviously, because of the amount of time I've spent listening to music and doing that metal show and this show now, I hear these little things in people's playing, and if I'm totally wrong, you can tell me. I have no problem being Chick Belly. No, Don, I never even listened to Thin Lizzy.
No, you're definitely not wrong. Definitely an influence on me for sure.
And obviously, and Brian Robertson being one of my favorite guitar players, it's a compliment either way. But obviously you've been out of LA Guns a few years, and I think that's been well documented at this point, so we don't need to rehash anything.
Fantastic. I'm down with that.
now, unless you want to, you and I get some cheap headlines, if you want to shit talk anybody, we can do that right now.
I'm good.
I know.
I'm moving way past that shit. I'm like way above it.
No, dude, and I'm all about the positivity. So tell me some of the good stuff about playing in that band.
I think the best part about playing in that band was meeting and making so many fans. To be honest with you, I was one of the only people to go out and say hi to people. There were certain members of the band that would just kind of hide in the dressing room or like not show with fans or think they're too good for them. And I was out there almost every night, just shaking hands, hanging out, you know,
Oh, I can
saying
attest.
hello.
I can attest to that.
And that's the one thing that people bring up a lot. You know, they're like, "Hey, he was the only dude who ever said hi to me." I'm like, "Well, there you go."
Whenever I saw you with guns, yeah, dude, you right after the show, you were out in the mix with everybody, and so yeah, hopefully those people are now embracing this new project. Now, once this runs its course, would you be willing to join Stephen Riley's version of LA Guns under any circumstances?
Never, never. I will never join any incarnation of LA Guns ever.
You know, I'm
That
just
is a soap opera I do not want to join.
you,
I don't want to join soap opera A or B. Like, I
you
got
know,
my
I'm just
own.
messing with you, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because they have their own problems. There's so many versions of that band at this point. It's crazy.
I was like the billionth guitarist, man. I'm like a speck on Mars for
It's
that band.
it's like McDonald's. It's like
Totally.
yeah,
Billions served.
yeah. But listen, hey, good training ground, and I love those guys. So I have
good
nothing
boot camp.
I have nothing bad to say. And you know you did your time there, and I'm glad you're doing your own thing. Let me ask you something though about just playing guitar, as opposed to being the front man. Did you feel like your playing improved during that time, or I don't know, when you just were focusing on the guitar?
I think it definitely kept my chops up and made me explore different territories I might not have, and definitely probably seeped into my current playing even subconsciously. But yeah, so I'd say to some degree, it definitely kept my skills like on par, because, you know, I had guitar solos in front of hundreds or thousands of people every night. Like, you got to be on point. So I think it definitely helped in some shape or form.
Yeah, and they gave you your spotlight pretty much every night. I obviously used to do. They used to let you do "Purple Rain." That was kind of your spotlight song and all that stuff. So, all influences, all band situations lead into whatever the next thing is, which is the new album, Always the Villain. So this is 2020 is a year. Obviously, it's important for you because it's the launch of a new project, but it's also the 40th anniversary of AC/DC Back in Black, and certainly AC/DC's embracing it. If you follow their social media, they're putting out old, live clips and promo clips and things that you've probably never seen before. Wonder if you had any thoughts about that album?
About Back in Black?
Yeah.
Besides it being one of the most heard albums of all time. That's one of those inescapable albums that influences everybody, whether they like it or not. You know what I mean? Like, every single riff, every single solo seeps into every single guitarist in the world, whether they like it or not. It's just one of those records.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite track would probably be Let Me Put My Love Into You. And not because it's like this perverse thing, it's just because those riffs and that heavy, like trudging, sludgy kind of groove. I love it.
Yeah. And speaking of putting your love into somebody, you're a new dad, I believe.
I'm a new daddy.
Yeah. Congrats, man.
My baby is 5 months old. Her name is Michaela Apollonia. And she was born at the very, very start of quarantine. March 9 is her birthday. And that's when we went into lockdown. So I was at the hospital, supporting my girl, my baby, and wanting to be there for the birth and being there and all that stuff. Just, boom, we got the news. Like, we're going into lockdown. Shit hit the fan. It was pretty intense of a time to put out an album and have a baby. My timing, bro.
Yeah, man.
I wait for natural, for like pandemics and natural disasters to have these monumentous things happen.
Yeah, man. Well, wow. What a year for you, man. And were you listening to Let Me Put My Love Into You at the time?
That riff might have been circling around in my head. Right? Yeah, maybe, bro. See, that's what I'm saying. Subconsciously and inadvertently, we're all influenced by that. So, maybe that was kind of circling in the back of the head when Twinkle in the Eye happened,
Yeah, see, it always comes back to AC/DC at the end of the day, right?
That damn album, like you can't go to any bar USA and not hear something from that record. I mean, you love it, but you're just like, going into a bar, you're like, I'm gonna hear Back in Black tonight.
Yeah,
You know it.
and of course to go along with it, they have 40th anniversary merchandise that's available. So
That's so cool.
While the bands aren't touring and trying to make some income, what are you guys going to do when this opens up again? I'm sure you would love to tour on this album. Will you do another one and then tour? Do you have a plan, or are you just waiting it out?
I think it just depends on where we are in the world. Like if things open up, as soon as things open up, I would like to tour. We've already had to cancel dozens and dozens and dozens of dates that we had booked, and we had an Asian tour booked that definitely wanted to cancel that one once stuff so we canceled that. So I mean, everything got canceled, and I think as soon as things open up, just want to get back on the road and get back to our livelihood as musicians, which is touring and playing shows and getting out there to meet fans and making a buzz.
Maybe this was a blessing. It's a blessing no matter what. But that you had your child now, because you can spend these important, very early moments with your kid. Because once you get back into the rock and roll lifestyle, you're away. So these are great bonding times for you. So a bit of a blessing in that way as well.
That's definitely the upside of everything. Just being able to spend all the time with my daughter, whereas, if things were opened up, I would definitely be on the road, at least 6 months out of the year. And that's a lot of time spent away from my little tiny human,
Yeah. And then they grow up so fast. So,
right.
Well, dude, congrats on the new record, man. I'm really happy
Thank
for
you.
You are nothing but a good
it.
time. We've had lots of fun times on the cruises, and
definitely, man.
I'm glad you
karaoke nights, bro. We need to bring those back. Karaoke nights on the boat. Me and you were killing it.
I almost remember some of those times. That's how much fun we had.
I only remember it because there was a picture.
Yeah, that's right. There's a great photo of a bunch of us up there butchering something, but
we were butchering. It might have been like War Pigs, probably, or Iron Man or something like that.
Yeah. Who knows, man? But dude, congratulations, everybody! Pick up the new cassette from Michael Grant and the Assassins. Always the villain. Always a good time. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for having me, bro.
All right, man. Take care.
You too.
There he goes. A new daddy, a new band, everything.